Hello, I am Bentham and welcome back to Factorio, and the first thing that we're going to do today is sort out the power suit because I got a lot of feedback last episode after I asked about what if people wanted me to use the night vision goggles or not, and generally people were saying that they didn't want me to use them in the base, but then a fair few people were saying that they did want me to use them outside of the base, so I've come up with a system that I'm going to have. I'm going to use the modular armor with the old setup while I'm in the base, and then whenever I need to do any sort of combat or any sort of missions far away from the base where it could get dark and I wouldn't be able to see what I was doing, I'm switching to the new power suit, which is going to be fully equipped with tons of nice combat gear and also a lot of exoskeletons and things like that. And you may be wondering why I'm only using exoskeletons in the new power suit, and the reason for that is that if I use them all the time, it'll be more difficult to see what I'm doing because I'll be shooting about really quickly and stuff, and it would mess with sort of the pace of the videos, and I've already sort of struck a good pace with this 3 times speed that I don't want to mess up by having my character going at double speed anyway. So got a bit of science done there because that's sped up a lot now that we've got the alien artifacts in, of course. That means that science will be going, but it also seems to be going at a pretty decent rate. And I've got some level 3 productivity modules in production there, and once they're done we'll have the science system running even faster, with all 10 labs going at full speed. So yeah, let's wander over to all of the ore production stuff, because it looks like we're having a bit of a problem with the iron supply. It's not flowing as quickly as I'd like it to. So first of all, I just run around and put some blue belts in places. It's not really needed, but it's something that I meant to do a while ago. So you can see I'd started crafting some furnaces, but we've got a bunch of modular armor stuff being made in the bottom bar as well. So it's going to be a while before those are actually ready. So I get some more what do you call them, speed conveyor belts, express conveyor belts from the logistic spots, and then suddenly a catastrophic power failure. All of the power just shuts down before the sun has even finished setting, or actually pretty much the moment it does finish setting. So that's a bit of a problem, and we need to go fix that quite rapidly because the entire factory's basically shut down. It's running on a single steam engine right now, so I start making my way back to the base. Logistics bots are still working, resupplying me and stuff, but they're not going to be able to recharge very easily. So we get back to the main base and we can grab a bunch of solar panels, and we're going to need to set up a new grid. I mean, there's a room around the old grid, but I want to keep it as a nice neat rectangle because I like that. So we're going to scout out a new location to put the solar panels in. I'm just waiting for the machine to gather up all the necessary resources to make all the ones I want, because I want to make a 3x3 grid of 8 solar panel arrays, if you know what I mean. You'll see in a minute. So I'm just having to wait until we have 72 of those. So just sort of standing around checking on the power thing, and you can see that the solar panels were running non-stop all day, and then the accumulators kicked in and ran out of power. So that means that it was a problem with the rate that we were charging the accumulators rather than the capacity of the accumulators themselves. So I'm just waiting for this last one to be made, and there it goes. And so we start setting off to our new the new location of our solar array, and of course I can take the car for this, so we hop in there. And it's just this little bit here, because this is just like a big open square that doesn't do anything right now. We can fit tons of solar panels in this, so I put in the first line. And so I realised afterwards that there's actually a better way to set this up, where I can... Because what I was doing is setting up all the lines like this, and then I go putting the power poles in, and then I have to walk along each of these little corridors sticking in the new solar panels, and there's actually a way you can do it with the sort of grid pattern that means it's quicker and stuff, because I kept trying to be quick with putting those in, and then I'd miss and have to break the solar panels and put new ones in again. But anyway, that's set up, so we hop in the car and make our way back home, check on the power system. Unfortunately, it's a bit too late in the day at this point to for the solar panels to be much use, so we're going to have another big shutdown for a lot of the night, but we're just going to have to deal with that and carry on with things. More science being done there, and I decided to research a bunch of shotgun ammo stuff, because we're now using the shotgun, so we want to be able to be sort of fully capable when the time comes to use that. So anyway, after all that palaver, all of the furnaces are done, so I'd set up the production of a couple more, and then while that's going, I get rid of all these trees that are here, and then we can put those in, another 8, which means that we no longer have half of our production going into steel. We only have 2/5. So that's nice, I think. Yeah, that's how it works. Probably, maybe something like that. So there we go. We get the efficiency modules into all of those, and they set off going. And then it's time to make my way home, I think. Oh, actually, no. I decided to hop in the iron train first, because of course we just increased the number of furnaces that are using iron. So we want to make sure that the iron supply is as good as it can be. So we make our way over to the outpost. And you can see there's still a lot of ore flowing down, which is good, but we can probably increase it, because you can see here that we've only got one side of this belt being filled. So I decided to set up a new line of mining drills, so that's going to bring us up to like 4 big long lines of this. Of course the spacing works out completely as bad as it can be, and I have to go back along the line to sort of even things out, so that we can get, so that we have all of the mining drills sort of running out at roughly the same time, which is the best way to do it. So I'm putting some blue belts in places, but unfortunately I didn't have enough blue belts on me when I set off, because I just put a bunch of them onto the smelting area lines. So we were a bit short, but I just put them in the vital places, like the corners and things like that, and just making sure that things get sort of built up in the areas they need to, and that should be a nice increase to the supply of iron there. So we go along and put in the efficiency modules, and then connect a couple up to the power that are not quite in range of all the substations, and then we're going to hop on the train, check up on the all the ore levels, and make our way back home. So it looks like it's filling up to 750, maybe 800 there before it sets off. And of course, the moment it sets off, we get an attack back at the iron outpost. So I quickly hop out, switch in my my new power suit. Unfortunately, it's not charged yet, but it charges pretty quickly, as you can see. And when we make our way over there, we find that the biters arrived, took out one of the one of the turrets, and then got taken out themselves. So I make a couple more turrets to help with the defense. Put some on the new bottom line of the mining drills, because that was a mistake I made, really, where I was leaving the base relying on the ones at the top again, like I've done previously with this outpost. And then we finished setting up our level 2 power suit. It's going to have well, it does have 3 exoskeletons, the night vision goggles. It's got a couple of the personal laser defenses, and then pretty much everything else is the personal shields. So anyway, back to base, checking up on how quickly the iron is flowing out, and it's I'm not sure. It looks like at the moment it's sort of struck a perfect balance, sort of thing, because the way the chests were, well, the way certain chests were running out just before the train arrived, or at the moment that it was arriving. So we'll have to wait a bit longer to see what sort of effects the additions to the smelting are going to have on the supply of iron. It may be that we need to set up either we need to do a big overhaul of that system so that we can get more ore being loaded into the train, or we need to set up a new train. But for that we need a new iron deposit. And actually, looking on the map, there doesn't seem to be that many of them. But anyway, we're back in base now, checking up on things, sorting out like modules and stuff like that, because we now have the 8 productivity modules, the level 3 productivity modules that give us the maximum bang for our buck in terms of what do you call it? In terms of alien artifacts. So there we go, getting the all 5 of the, well, no, all 10 even of the labs up and running, which is good. But of course, that means that the power system is going to be quite taxed again, because all of the entire factory systems are going to be up and running to keep this supplied. So quick check on the ore supply, and it seems like iron is just about enough at the moment to keep things going almost perfectly. So I suppose it's not just enough; it's just quite not enough. But yeah, I'm having a quick look around the around on the map there to see if there's any iron deposits that I can actually make use of. And there's only like one tiny one right in the top left corner, which is absolutely miles away and doesn't look like it'll give us much in terms of supply. But anyway, after a quick look at the power system, I decide to get some more accumulators, and just before I put them in, I just check that I'm right in the yep, there we go. The power system shuts down again, and the reason this time around is that we don't have enough power storage in the accumulators. So I start making my way over there again, back to the old accumulator place. There's still a lot of room over here for more stuff, but of course I have to break this nice rectangle shape by adding in another square here. It might not be long until we add in another 2 squares and have it back as a 3x3 grid. I think that was what we ended up having in the first series. And the first series is probably running slow. Well, the factory probably had less power consumption than this will once it's properly going. But anyway, I grab a couple of solar panels there, and it's time to go on an away mission. So I don the combat suit, and you can see immediately there's a massive boost to the speed at which I travel, and I'm making my way over to sort of the northwest here to put in a new radar. So we luckily the grid is so arranged that there's a spot right here where I can fit the radar in and keep the nice square pattern that we're going for. So I put that one down, and then we need to put in another two because I'm expanding the sort of the grid from a 2x3 to a 3x3. Unfortunately, there's a biter base quite near to this, and it's quite large as well, so I don't really want to try tackling it right now. Next episode I'm going to be doing some more biter combat, I think, because for this episode we've had enough alien artifacts to get by, but we're going to run out in the middle of next episode. So you see there I set up a new outpost, and it was a slightly different design this time, rotated 90 degrees to fit in some turrets to keep with to help defend, and then there's also some walls as well, of course, to stop the biters getting in. So it looks like this outpost as well is going to be right next to a biter base, so I start setting this up in the same way. But of course there's a bunch of trees in the way, so it's a bit difficult to actually get the wall in place. And I get into the middle to put in the guns before I realise that I can't actually get out when the guns are there, so I have to get rid of one of the solar panels to make my way through and then put it back again. And then work my way around, clearing out all these trees, and that's the defensive wall completed. More research being done there. At the moment we're doing a lot on shotgun stuff just to help with our combat abilities. So make our way back home, switch back to the normal power suit, so you don't have to have look at everything in that weird green that we always have. And then checking up on things, it looks like once again iron's a bit of a problem, but also copper seems to be a bit of a problem now as well. One side of the copper lines is run down, the other side is sort of half run down. You can sort of see it move, like it fills up sort of just after the main line is created. That's not a good way to describe it, but anyway, I decided to do some more work on the power system, because after a quick check I've concluded that we need yet more accumulators. But then just before I finish arriving I realised that I was actually wrong, because the reason for the most recent power failure is because the solar panels didn't manage to fully charge the system. So I've run back and grabbed solar panels instead, and I'm going to make my way over to the new solar panel grid. So immediately ruining this nice square shape of it, accidentally shoot one of the panels there when I'm trying to clear away a rock, because of course I'm using the shotgun now, and I forgot that for a second and targeted the rock thinking I was using the machine gun. But anyway, we put in all this new stuff, all the new solar panels, and that should hopefully be enough to keep the accumulators supplied this time. And of course we'll find out later on when we're keeping an eye on the power system. You can see that copper is continuing to run down. So we need to do something about that, and I go and check on the smelters, and it turns out that some of them started to shut down because of the lack of supply from this outpost here. It is running down very quickly, and it's not going to be long probably before it disappears. Well, actually, there's a very sort of dense central lump to the ore supply there. So I think the outpost will be going for a long time, but it will get a lot smaller quite soon. So anyway, I've hooked up some of the copper delivered from the train to that line to help sort of supplement the supply from that failing outpost. So that should keep that going for a while. But the thing is, I don't know if it's like how well the new iron, the mini outpost that we've got out in the wilderness is going to cope with the increased demand for copper, because I don't think there's that many mining drills actually on it. So I'm worried that things are running down right now somewhere, like the storage chests back at the outpost are slowly emptying, and it's suddenly going to hit us really badly, where the copper supply just goes to crap, and then circuit production shuts down, and so on and so forth. So anyway, that's helped to start building up a backup again of copper, I think. I mean, there wasn't a backup there before, and it's appeared again, so that suggests that. And I just checked the map there because well, partly to check for iron outposts and things like that, but also to have a look at the lake, because I've been trying to scan the area near the lake and over the lake to try and work out how big the lake is. And I put in a new couple of what do you call them, radars recently, and there's one of them. and they've still not managed to work out where the other side of the lake is. They've kept scanning along, and all they found is more lake. So I'm now going to go and build yet another radar outpost to try and actually find out where the opposite side is. There's no real reason for it. It's just a bit of curiosity because I want to know how big the lake is, of course, because that's what I'm doing. So I make my way to the very tip of this little spur here, or whatever it is, and plonk down a radar as far away as I can. I don't think it matters exactly how far, because the way it works is a big grid pattern anyway. So, but it's cooler to have it like as far away as possible. So we get the 5 solar panels connected up, and we leave that to do its thing. And hopefully that will actually tell us where the other side of this lake is, or I might just like circumnavigate it one episode when I'm bored, because I want to find out what's over there. Probably some very powerful biters, considering how far away it's going to be from the spawn point. But anyway, making our way back to the base to check up on copper again and things like that. And I can see that all the furnaces are running at full speed right now, but still there's not quite as much build-up as I would like. So I grab a couple of stone bricks and start making some furnaces. Nearly get hit by the train there. That was a very close shave. I'm not sure if I can survive a train hit or not when I'm wearing the modular armor. It does have 4 shields on it. To me that seems like enough, but I don't want to risk it. I don't want to find out the hard way, so I'm just going to be careful when I'm near the railway. But anyway, we've got the new furnaces down, put in the efficiency modules and everything, and they're connected up and going. And then we're going to put another 2 on this one here as well. So we just have to clear out all these trees. And there's so many trees that we've got rid of to put this in place. I'm slightly concerned that we're just destroying any barrier to the pollution that this smelter is creating. I'm actually looking at the map here. There's a lot of pollution stretching all the way down to the other copper, the mini copper outpost there. So actually that's pretty bad. We need to do something about that. But then there's not much that we can do apart from not cut down the trees, which I keep doing anyway, because they're in the way of my furnaces. But anyway, making my way home with hundreds of resupplies from the logistics drones there, and more of them flying in all the time. And what I wanted was to get resupplied with the express belts, but it took them a while to do that. And then what I'm doing is putting some standard belts into the production line there, because of course every time I put down an express belt it's usually over a standard belt, which means that I'm getting a ton of standard belts in my inventory that I don't want, so I'm putting them into producing more express belts. So anyway, I've filled in one of the lines there. You can see that the copper is nicely built up again now, so those extra furnaces were enough to tip the balance back into having more than enough to keep everything going. And while I'm here, I'm just sorting out some of the module stuff as well, evening out my supplies. Just having a look around places generally, and then making my way back over to the line to put in the other blue belt. You can see that iron is still a problem though. We need to be working on that next episode. I just grab a couple of walls there and things like that, because there's a few things in my inventory that I need to clear out, so I just dump a bunch of wood into that chest there. Thing is, that chest used to be like in the middle of all my stuff, but now all my stuff has moved, so I should probably move that chest nearer so that I don't have to run miles to actually put something into it. But anyway, we get back to working on, sort of checking up on the rail stuff, and I just set up a chest here and dump all of my railway building equipment into it, because it's cluttering up my inventory, and at the moment I'm not building any railways, and if I ever am, I'll be starting here at the station, so I can just pick that up when I set off, and that'll be better for my inventory, because it keeps getting filled up with wood and rail bits and conveyor belts all the time. Anyway, checking up on the main line, you can see that steel is building up quite rapidly, which is good, because once it's finished building up, we'll have a lot more iron coming in, which we need. But in the meantime, I'm going to ruin that by adding in a new assembler for gear production, because it looks like we could do it a little bit more, and I think the reason for that is actually all my demand for express belts. So maybe that was a temporary requirement that's going to go now. But I decided to put in the other assembler anyway, and in order to make sure that the gears can flow as fast as possible, I have to put in a few blue belts there. Then I go and resupply blue belts, stick a few more standard belts into the system to keep that going, and hopefully later on the iron supply will pick up enough that it will be able to deal with that increase in gear production and so on. So I just put in another inserter there to connect up the ammo to the drones, because the ammo's completely filled up now, so it should be alright to supply drone production again. So there we go, they start getting produced again and put into the chest. And then I just quickly check up on the tank, like there's something bad happened to, I don't know. And then I have a check of the map, and then it's time to end, but not before we get a random bit of science done, just as I'm trying to finish. And there it is, and I shall say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.